It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stop the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stop the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Start the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Start the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 cheer. Loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 cheer. Loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low.
I'm not sure why my monitoring screen is a bit too slow, but I was able to see on the other screen that, yeah, we are live. I do hope you're all doing well, and I appreciate you all finding the time to join me for another edition of Live Chelsea News and Debate on Chelsea Perspective. I appreciate you all. Once again, we'll go news hunting to see what's going on out there, and after that, we get to the live call-in show, the aspect where I share the link in the comment section and you come onto the panel and express your opinion. Let us know which of the strikers that were being linked with you'd like Chelsea to sign, why we shouldn't sign that particular striker. I do hope you're all doing well. I'm not going to waste your time. We get to the news hunting aspect of the show immediately. Not sure why my screen is a bit slow. Let me see what I have here, what I can take off here to make things easier. I think we have something with a lot of pop-up. Apologies there. It looks like it's actually frozen completely. And I'm not sure why that is the case. Let's see. I'm going to try to switch to the presentation window. If the issue continues, please bear with me. I'm going to try to fix it as soon as possible. My goodness. All right, give me 1 second here. Are we even there? I'm going to try to refresh and go back to the studio. Maybe that will be the best option. All right, be patient with me. We'll start it out as soon as possible. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see if that helps. Okay, the signs are good. The signs are good. So let's go to the presentation window here. It hasn't actually switched. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, it's everywhere. So I'm going to do this. Yeah, it looks like we're back. It's working properly. Once again, I'm going to repeat what we have planned for today. We will, first of all, go news hunting. And after news hunting, we'll come back and then share the link in the comment section so you can come onto the panel and let us know which of the strikers that we're being linked with you'd like the club to sign or not sign. Yep. So bear with me. Give me 1 second here. I have to take care of a few things here. I'm not sure why the case is. All right, but that's by the way. Let's move on. This is the presentation window all set up, but I had to refresh my screen because it froze, and it looks like that probably still happening. I'm not sure why. Let's do this. More likes. We have 3 likes already, and that's a good sign. Hopefully, we can get up to at least 30 likes by the time the show ends. And if you are, again, if you see members of the community, let them know that the Blue Morning Show is back, and it's back for good. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to say hello to those of you in the chat before we continue. before we go back to the presentation window, who do we have here? One of them I honestly don't want to see here, Vic. We have Uzoma. How can I join the meeting from India? No problem. Like I said, after news hunting, I will share the link in the comment section so you can come onto the panel and let us know which of the strikers that we're being linked with you'd like the club to sign or not to sign, why you want him, why you don't want the club to sign certain strikers, or why you want the striker to sign. I'm guessing Osimhen probably because you're Nigerian. But that's right away. Vic is in the house. Vic, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. So the Chelsea legends lost to the Liverpool Legends at Anfield. I hope that's the second leg. I didn't follow the game. I just saw that Lewis was online. I joined and I was listening to what they were saying. It looks like we played badly. I'm not too sure. Egungbe is saying, Chinagaram is saying Osimhen. Okay, you get a chance to come onto the panel and tell us why you want the club to sign Osimhen and not Gyökeres, Delap. There's also the Leipzig guy. What's his name again? Um, a few of them. Boniface also. We did address a report. It was about a week ago, suggesting that we're ready to do whatever it takes to land the signature of Victor Boniface, which, in my opinion, I'd rather would sign him than Victor Osimhen. But I can never get this out of my head that he, in fact, did say that he prefers playing in La Liga than the Premier League. So for me, that's a no-brainer. I wouldn't want us to go after a player that doesn't want to play for us, because saying he doesn't want to play in the Premier League definitely, for me, implies he wouldn't want to come to Premier League at all, let alone get a chance to play for Chelsea Football Club. So the first item we have here, let's go news hunting. After that, you'll see the link in the comment section that you can come onto the panel and unload your opinion on us. And if you have any responses, you get it too. Fabrizio Romano says it is still early, it is still March. So Chelsea have not activated any sort of contact to send Jadon Sancho back to Manchester United or keep him. Both, because he can be either of the two. Keep him or let him go back to Manchester United. And in my opinion, we've talked about this 10,000 times already, but I'm going to talk about it once more because this is fresh. This was 1 hour ago. A lot of people, there were rumors out there that were willing to pay the fine required to terminate the contract and not sign him on a permanent. For me, I'm going to say something I've already said before. That he represents good business. Why? He's a good footballer, irrespective of whether he's measured our expectations as Chelsea player or not. And he's English. If we buy him and decide we want to move him on in a season or two, I think if he plays well, we could get nearly 3 times as much money that we end up paying for him, because we haven't paid any amount except for the loan fee for him. So I don't think it makes sense to pay a fine, even if the fine is £5 million. You could say, to get out of the deal and not keep him on a permanent. It just wouldn't make sense. And knowing Chelsea owners, I think the most sensible thing to do would be to keep him. And if should they decide to sell him in the future, they'd make a sizable gain from his sale, if that makes sense. Osimhen is strong. Let me see. He's strong and clinical. We need him. But here's the thing. I know you probably must have watched the YouTube shot where I presented arguments, or maybe just it was a snap. YouTube shots are usually snappy. Just a few points why Chelsea should sign him. I also do have solid reasons that I can debate with your favorite content creator, anybody you want, why Chelsea shouldn't sign him. More importantly, of those reasons are the fans' expectation. That's a serious reason why not to sign it. There are also people that are concerned about his injury record. Some are concerned about the fee and all that. Some are actually saying he's not good enough for Chelsea. But that's, by the way, I have other reasons that I think Chelsea, other reasons why I think Chelsea shouldn't sign him. But we're not going to talk about that now. Let's see. Jadon Sancho. I think he stays at Chelsea. And I don't today. I'm not interested in reading anybody's opinion on Chelsea's project, how they see it, how it's working out, how it's confusing, yada yada yada. It's not my business. They can keep their opinions to themselves, because there are a lot out there. So let's see the numbers of Giovanni Coenda in the Primera. How do you pronounce that? Primera Liga so far this season at 17. The kid is his magic, really. Clocking these numbers at 17 is insane. He could be generational, as they claim in Portugal. Here's the thing: uh, I'm not into calling a player a generational talent, whereas they just you could say. Starting their career, whereas you could say they haven't done anything. For me, how I see it, before I call you a generational talent, you must it dominates a certain generation in football. If you get the point there, I'm not just gonna you can say hop onto the bandwagon of calling a kid a generational talent where he's barely started his career. It just doesn't make sense in my opinion. But you'd see people say an emerging talent is a generational talent. If you phrase it this way, if you say that particular player is capable of becoming a generational talent, then I'd listen because you'd have to you must for me I don't think it makes sense to call one a generational talent when they haven't actually played their career hasn't actually lasted a decade, if that makes sense. But that's by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular afternoon. 7 likes, we can do a lot better than that. In total, we have 35 people following the show. 8 of those on YouTube. The rest are probably definitely shared between X and Facebook. Let's see what else we have here. Why commit a Sancho to a 5-year deal on over 150K? Is he how much he's currently earning? I think probably they will try to negotiate a lower salary. But let's see what happens. I thought he took a pay cut to join us, but even at that 150 is a lot of money. So I totally understand what you're saying. Okay, to be good. Yeah, check your sound, not mine. the way Vic, the way he has, the way he has always, the way he takes a go that takes a swipe at people, very subtle, I have to say. Big up to you too. No, I'm not in mute. Must be your sound system. Yeah, please do check your sound. So let's look at the numbers. I've been waffling for nearly 2 minutes right now, and I haven't actually taken a look at these numbers there. Giovanni Coenda in the Primera Liga so far this season, assists 4 in total, league rank eighth place. Chances created 48 in total, league rank third place. Big chances created 10 in total. League rank is fifth place. Dribbles completed 31. The league rank is eighth place. Crosses completed 29, seventh place. Touches in opposition box 83, 13th place. He's a talent. Even those that were complaining that we're signing a lot of kids didn't have much to say against the kid. They were just singing in praises and was surprised how quickly you could say we got the deal over the line. Nobody knew we were actually interested in signing him. And rumors were at the time that Amorim was bent on signing the kid for Manchester United, but he rejected them, if you get that, and preferred joining Chelsea Football Club. So welcome to Chelsea Football Club, kid. I hope you do well. All good now. Okay, Mark Gui. Yeah. What's his name again? Graphic user interface U. That's Mark Gui. Did you not see Osimhen's finishing yesterday? Didn't he miss a few? I'm not saying he's a bad player, and I'm quite sure you've heard me present my argument with regards to why I think we shouldn't sign him. That's my argument. Isn't that he's a bad player? You could say, my concern is that mainly, you could say, my pressing concern is that Chelsea fans are not going to give him time. Let me break it down a bit, even though I've said I'm not going to do that before. The biggest problem is this expectations. The expectation from Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans want us to sign him. You can say our push for the club to sign him is driven solely by his performance at Napoli, I think 3 years ago, and his performance currently. Or you can say the amount of goals he scores per season. And if it comes to Chelsea under a manager that plays with a fluid approach, a liquid approach, whatever language that is more relatable to you or whatever language you prefer, he's not going to score as much. Chances are he's not going to score anything close to half of, you can say, his prime season at Napoli or in France, even in the Belgium league. Or maybe in Turkey right now. But people aren't going to pay attention to the fact that our manager approaches the game differently. We don't approach the game in a manner where traditional number nine or stereotypical number nines thrive. We play with a system where the goals we score are usually shared among our front players, our attacking players. We don't play in a manner where once you get to the final third, we channel the majority of our goal scoring chances through a single individual. And because we don't play like that, Osimhen is not going to do as well as he did in his prime season at Napoli, or even in I think in Belgium. At one of the seasons, or his last season, he scored 20 goals in that season. At Chelsea, as long as the manager prefers a fluid approach in the front area, it'd be difficult for a traditional number nine to get that much goals, if that makes sense. But that's, by the way, that's my opinion anyway. I never said he's a bad player, and I'm also gonna say one more thing. He can drop deep sometimes. You can say drift to the flanks, left or right sometimes. But those aspects of the game, dropping deep, participating in the play, or drifting to the flanks, those are not his strongest tools. Maybe let me use the most relatable language. Again, he's a stereotypical number nine, a traditional number nine, and if you utilize him as such, you get the best out of him. And I also do think, because the manager approaches the game differently in a manner that doesn't favor traditional number nine or stereotypical number nines, Osimhen himself will get frustrated. That's just my opinion. Chances are, should we sign him today, the manager, he'd be open to tweaking the way he approaches the game to get the best out of Osimhen. But for me, as a football fan, more favor of a fluid approach where the goals are shared between the attacking players and not channel the teams, majority of the teams' goal scoring chances through a single individual. Once we get closer to the final third, leading to a situation where if the individual is marked out of the game properly, then we're in trouble. But despite the way, that's just my opinion anyway. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular afternoon. We have 7 likes in total. We should be doing a lot better than that. Let's see, what else do we have here? People go and check out to Beho's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I'd really appreciate that. What else do we have here? Vic is saying, I don't understand your Osimhen argument anymore, Coach. Jackson bottled that Osimhen a second goal for Nigeria. What more do you need? I'm sure you listened. I'm sure you don't have a hearing problem. I'm sure you understand. My argument isn't that Osimhen is a bad player or he misses chances. Every striker misses. Again, strikers do miss chances. It's something that comes that comes with the territory of being a striker. Even you see, if he comes of Erling Haaland, if you see comes of Erling Haaland misses, you'd throw up. Honestly, here's the thing: the reasons. Like if you've watched the YouTube shot, these are the reasons why I think Chelsea should sign Osimhen. Osimhen, he's performed consistently across multiple leagues in Europe. You could argue since his emergence as a professional footballer, he's performed consistently as a striker, except in Germany, where at the time they didn't rate him. But he's performed across leagues in Europe. He did well, not really well in Germany, but he did well. Whenever he got the chance, he gave his best. And then in Belgium, his last season in Belgium, he scored 20 goals. And then in France, he did well. In Italy, you know the story. Won the league with Napoli. I think they made it. I don't know when. Didn't they make it to the final of the European Champions League or semi-finals? I can't quite remember. And then in talking now, he's ripping things apart. So my argument has never been that he's a bad player. Yeah. More importantly, Chelsea fans' expectation is one of the reasons why I'm arguing we shouldn't sign him, because otherwise I still strongly believe we'd see a part two of the Lukaku Chelsea saga, in my opinion. Not because he's a bad player. No, if we had Mourinho as our manager, I'd say get him. And I know, Vince, you know what? I'm quite sure you've heard me speak about the reasons. Speak of the reasons why I think we shouldn't sign him, and I'm definitely sure you understand. You understand my points, but you just like to wind me up. But just go away, leave me alone right now. Let's see what you have here. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Thanks for your undivided attention to this issue. Much love to you, my brother. Always love. Bring back Lukaku. Yeah, tomorrow. He's already on the he's already on a flight back to London, and tomorrow he will start training with the team. Goals he scored last night. I don't care the manner of goals he scored as long as he's putting chances away. He's good for the Super Eagles, and it looks like Eric Shell will get the best out of him. We played with our intensity yesterday, better than I've seen in a while. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's continue with news hunting. Then I'll come back to the panel. Share the link in the comment section so you can come onto the panel and express your opinion. Why are we seeing this twice on Vince's? I think he says something. Okay, something different than both. How many can you name? I don't know all of them. Here's Maluda, Makalele, the other Frenchman too, that played for Tottenham. What's his name? Hasselbank, Celestin Babayaro. Then this one here, between Celestin Babayaro and this man here, what's his name also? This guy is one of the most underrated players ever to have played for Chelsea Football Club. Ramirez. One of the most underrated. Him, Mikel, some other players fall under that category. Who else? That's gosh, what's his name? The one next to the goalkeeper. That's Hoot, the tallest, of course. What's his name? This guy here between Hoot and the goalkeeper. Oh yeah, the flying right back, Joseph Bosingwa. Galas was the name I was looking for. Here's Galas here. Yeah. Makalele, Maluda, John Obinnebechuku, Mikel, and okay, the little girl right there, Robert Green. Oh, is that Green really? Okay. Yeah, but of course I'm never. There's no way I'd forget Babayaro's name. I liked him as a player. Yeah. There's also was it his elder brother who was a goalkeeper at the time? But Bayero is actually going by the last name of the man that sponsored, you can say, his participation in the under 17 competition at the time. So the agreement was that he takes the man's last name, same with his elder brother. Yeah, that's the story at the time. That's one story I will never forget. What else do we have here? He's saying, okay, you're talking for yourself now, not Maresca. No, not Maresca. Maresca is looking for a striker who can press and create chances. We will not sign him, of course, but he'd offer more than Delap. Oh, I would take Osimhen over Delap anytime, any day. Delap, for me, I'm not sure why we're keen on signing him. That is, if we are in fact keen on signing Delap. I think all the stuff. Here's the thing. Everything I've seen out there, I do see them all. Here's how I treat them. I dump them all in a single bucket and tag them rumors, speculations. I don't believe them. It's just signing Delap wouldn't make sense for me. Except for signing him because Maresca is pushing for us to sign him because he's again he works with them at Manchester City as their youth coach. But Delap, I don't know what's special about him. Maybe he has it in him, but I haven't seen that. Maybe I need to watch him more, but I haven't seen that really. Yeah, Bosingwa, I liked him a lot. Flying right back. And I remember one X-rated, you could call it that, celebration with David Luiz. I don't want to go into details. You're gonna even Luiz was shocked, but yeah, I think he took it with a pinch of salt, and we moved on. I think we won that game. Gallas, the guy I don't like. I don't I don't like Gallas that much. Yeah, he was a good player, but I really don't like him really. Robert Green, but some Chelsea fans don't like him because I think because he later played for Spurs, something like that. Maluda, I liked Maluda. He was hardworking, and his departure from Chelsea wasn't rosy. He was banished. Actually, he had to go train with the youth team, and at the time, publicly, he released a statement, something to the effect of "Nobody can take me away from my team," not realizing at the time that Roman gave. I think it was former Portuguese coach that failed at Chelsea, what's his name, gave him the power to, like, you can say, yank off players he doesn't want from the squad. AVB, yeah. Uh, just go away. Leave me alone, the man for the lap. He's been doing the lap dance for our SDs. That's why we're going for him. I don't see anything. I don't. He's not Chelsea level. He's not. He had doesn't. He actually, man. He's he's not even part of his country's national team. So I'm not sure. But that's not a good way to put it. But I'll just stick with he's not good enough for Chelsea. And if we end up, if come, if the summer transfer window comes around, and after everything we've said, we've heard in the media with regards to us selling 10,000 players and then signing a very important striker, and we end up signing the lap, I'm I'm gonna start clearly out campaign my own. Um, let's see. We will sign Viktor Gyökeres if we qualify for the Champions League, or we will sign the lap if we don't. I think that's an excellent, should I say, excellent comment right there. Why? Because yeah, whether we're going to be part of the next edition of the Champions League or not, I think we'll have a huge say in our ability to sign you can say, the striker we want, because I'm quite sure Jokeres definitely will be, he'd be looking to play for a Champions League club, and if we don't have that, it would take a lot to convince him to join us. An increase in salary maybe, but at this age, I think he even wouldn't mind taking a pay cut to join a club that would be that will participate in the next edition of the Champions League. But that's, by the way, we move on from that. Yeah, and that's a good take right there. What else do we have? That's Robert Hoot and Babayaro. Yeah, yeah, I know Babayaro. He still looks, wow. He still looks as if, again, younger than I'd expect, in my opinion. Even Ramirez changed. He's added some meat on his face and everywhere. Yeah, Makalele, all the names there. I pray. Pool signs. Liverpool. They want to sign him. Okay, I hope they do. All right, Claire Lake looks up to Brighton. So I know you mean. I think your device is trying to help you spell it right there. Uh, looks up to Brighton, Ipswich, Wolves, Brentford, Leicester City. To them, wow, these are well-run clubs with with good assets. I don't not necessarily we're not necessarily copying them letter for letter. I think there are things we're doing differently. We're looking, you can say, for stars of the future, lights are the brightest of the talented players, emerging talented players, in my opinion. But you have every right to argue that that's exactly what they're doing, because yeah, it doesn't look, it does, you'd have to, you can say, one needs, and if one needs a debate or an argument to prove that that isn't the case, then definitely they're copying them to some extent. I think we're working behind the scenes for a striker. It looks like it. The speed at which we completed the signing of Coenda and Isugo shocked a lot of people, and those are top talents. Yeah. Watch us sign Gyökeres out of nowhere. It is possible, and also I'd also listen to people argue that would probably end up with the lap for reasons you know already. Ramirez, I bet he went. He had hair, man. He was never bald. I think if he didn't have hair at the time, then probably he was on papers. So I'm not sure what you. All right, sorry, I have to pay attention to my voice at the same time. Let's see what we have here. Give me a second. Yeah, I think I like this one. Let's go, people. Let's go. 11 likes in a beat. We're done. We'll be done with news hunting, and then I'll share the link to the panel in the comment section so you can come up to the panel and let us know which of the strikers you'd rather Chelsea sign. So I like this one. So let me share the emoji with it. Let's see. Coach Victor Gyökeres should work on his aerial duels because Victor Osimhen is stocked up in terms of that. Victor Osimhen is excellent. Chances are, I think there was a one time they were comparing his leap with that of Ronaldo. He's excellent aerially. No player is perfect, but you'd argue the Gyökeres is much again his overall skill set as a player. You can say better than that of Osimhen. But Osimhen is more of a traditional number nine, more powerful, probably quicker. I haven't taken my time to compare their pace to learn which of the two players is quicker than the other. England finally win a game. I'm going to start supporting England again. I never liked Garrett Southgate, but you could see England played with control, which is what Maresca is trying to do. But it's difficult to understand, and because we've been in a bad situation, people probably are not going to be that you could say patient enough to wait for things to materialize. But that's by the way we move on from that. Coming home. I mean I'd sing it's coming home this time if I hear someone singing it's coming home. I joined that that song. If you understand. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Uh, Not morning, afternoon for me. But then I'm used to saying morning because this is supposed to be the blue morning show. Let's see. News hunting. We go back to news hunting. Soon we get to the calling aspect of the show. You get the link in the comment section. You come onto the panel. Tell us which striker you want a Chelsea to sign. Anything else? Chelsea have entered the race for Fenerbahce's highly rated defender Yusuf. How do I pronounce the last name? Axishek. I'm guessing Axishek. If you know this player, educators, I want to know more about him. I don't know anything about him, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm not just gonna pretend I do when I don't. I don't like gaslighting people because if you do, it will eventually catch up to you. And you'll find yourself apologizing most of the time. Okay, Heston, this is the most horse dung news I've ever seen since the invention of sliced bread. Really. Well, I have never seen any BS news as this one. In what world do people believe this? That Chelsea are huge admirers of Vinicius and would also be very interested in landing him if the opportunity arose. That's in 2047. After he retires, then we can sign him to come play. I think play as a Chelsea legend. This is absolute hot dog, and that's coming from Graham Belly. I'm never gonna listen to him again. His thing, dang it. Another one is an outlet called Fichajes. You could just call it Fichar SHIT. Unbelievable the sort of nonsense we're seeing out there these days. And here's here's the stupid aspect of the whole thing. Some people will see this and still blame the club for it and still say, yeah, brown envelopes, club briefing how what are, well, I've forgotten what are the term they used to qualify such news. The club has nothing to do with these. This is just an Graham Belly himself. I'm sorry if he takes offense. Let it be. Is just he's just exploiting the vulnerability of Chelsea fans, knowing that we're eager for the club to sign players like this, or sign, or you could say an out and out striker or a recognized striker, because we've been struggling without one. So they're just exploiting our vulnerability. And unfortunately, as redonkulous, not even ridiculous, as redonkulous as this news sounds, some Chelsea fans will sulk up to it and believe it. Maybe, let me see. I think we'll come back to that and see how interesting the comment section is. I think a lot of people probably will recognize that it's absolute horse dung. Portuguese football journalist and pundit Mariana Fernandez Oncoenda, he is a generational talent. I disagree. I don't call a player a generational talent until you get to play within a generation and dominate that generation. Then for me, you're a generational talent, but you're allowed to define it otherwise. It's your opinion. But is he capable of becoming one? I'd say yes, he's capable of becoming one. And I'm quite sure you guys have seen this goal by Chelsea under 10 player, the audacity, the courage, the confidence to do something. Did you see? Did you have you seen that? Better give him a 20-year contract right now. Honestly, that was redonkulous from that kid. Okay, that's it. Let's go back to looking at the comments on the absolute horse dung news. This one right here. I'm gonna click it. So let's see what Chelsea fans think about that. But while that goes on, I'm gonna go back to reading your redonkulous comments too, because you guys make a lot of redonkulous comments too. All right, let's see. Let's see how here. Yeah, and he's saying, I don't like Vini. Saw that clip where Kunha and Rafinha were pissed off at him for that part where he tried to delay the game. That's a Real Madrid attitude for you, in my opinion. Yeah, Real Madrid attitude. I the guy really for me, he's a good player, hardworking player. Do I like him? There are other players I'd take over him. But one thing I will never do is say he's a bad player, because he's not a bad player. But I get your point. Yeah, a lot of people don't like him actually. Vince should stop sharing nonsense. Yes, then he's quoting someone. Yeah, the conversation, and also, in all honesty, I respect him, but engagement also. But he didn't say that. Someone else said it. He's just sharing it, and it's as simple as that, really. Um, no, do you think I think maybe you really think I believe this coming? We don't need to debate who to sign when it comes to striker. Osimhen is simply the best out there. So I will again. Okay, you will hug the owners, urge the owners to get him. Maybe your device trying to help you spell right there. It happens to the best of us. Um, okay, some people will argue otherwise. We don't need Vini. We don't. I don't think it happens either. Yusuf, Yusuf Ashishek is a 19-year-old centre back from Turkey. That's all you need to know, coach. That's it. So you don't know whether he's a good footballer, a bad footballer, emerging talent, or looks like he's gonna become an excellent player in the future. But that's why we're Houston. If today is your birthday and you're in the comment section, let us know. Or if you have a sibling, a family member who's celebrating their birthday today, let us know so we can celebrate with you. That's what we do here. I know I we don't pay your bills for you, but we can say we're family here, if that makes sense. But keep dropping the likes on the stream. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Give me 1 second. Let me take care of something quickly. One sec. All right, let's go, people. Let's go. Let's go. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular afternoon. Again, I have to look at the time, not to just say let's say yeah, but thank you. It's that on its own, it's a good information. So let's see what Chelsea fans have to say on that Vinicius Junior redonkulous news. So we get under it. Comments. I also admire Kyle Jenner. I love this one. I also admire Kyle Jenner, and I'd like to. Oh, Jesus Christ! So Chelsea fans will now kill me, and that's from a post. I think I should make a YouTube short about this. I- Jesus Christ, I'm dead. I also admire Kyle Jenner, and I'd like to date her. That's an excellent response right there. I really do like that one. Jesus Christ. I love this. Yes, people, go check out Tomeho's YouTube channel. I'll be sure to let him know I sent you. Let's help him grow. Yeah, go check it out. Vini News is clickbait and not PR. The original poster got 5 likes, then Vince aggregated, and then it blew up. Here's the thing: the truth remains, redonkulous things like that do blow up. They do. In all honesty, no jokes. Poch bottling another trophy. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I am just glad Villa wants to sign the Sassy permanently. Bournemouth wants to sign Kepa. Yeah, I've seen that too. I think I did a YouTube short that I haven't actually released, and I want to see that happen. I'm scared of what Santos said. If we do, no, Santos isn't going anywhere. Remember, he chances are he'd come back and say he wants to join Bayern, and Bayern are tapping him up. And I believe me, you can see Bayern will start a fight with Chelsea, and they're not gonna like it, because we're not stupid. They're trying to tap him up by pushing those news out there. But believe me, the kid will come back to Chelsea. But because the kid he has such option as joining Bayern, he tell us if I'm not gonna be starting, I'm gone. And Bayern needs him. I think Bayern there's space for him. But at Chelsea, there's argument that probably he's not going to start in every game. So it's a very, very complicated, it's a complicated situation right now. I'm not concerned. I think he comes back. But if he pushes the leave, Chelsea will let him go. But Chelsea are not going to let him go for cheap. You'd have to pay nearly 10 times as much as how much we paid for him. We really do want to keep him. And I'm happy. I have never said at any time that I regret him going out on loan. No, it was a good decision. And the first loan spell was actually his decision. The second one also, I think he publicly said it was his decision, which is the right thing to do. But should he push to leave, I'd say let him go. It's simple. You can't keep a player that don't want to stay. We have cover. We have a Sugo, which is more of a traditional DM, actually, when we want him. We have, look, I think he stays, so I'm not concerned, because the media, they do know how to twist things, and you can say exploit your vulnerabilities. I think some guys just posted his manager mode. That's a good one. I like that one too. But honestly, I want us to continue reading that comment. The next comment is actually from Tebejo. Let's see what he says. Up big time. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. With this Chelsea Vinny link, yeah, it's absolute. It's absolute host dog. Okay, what next one do we have? This guy here says it is so ridiculous that people are actually believing this. You don't know. You don't know. People these days are not, you can say, especially internet surfers, they're not into and it's taking the time to analyze information and make sensible and make, you can say, come to a sensible conclusion. Yeah. Okay, this one, Malusi says, definition of a big player, if we manage to sign him, it might be over for Cole Palmer. So he believes it, actually. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. Then Tavera said, this will tell you everything you need to know about Bailey. Yeah, Graham Bailey, I'm never going to trust him again. And I don't think Vince will at any time post such redonkulous news report and add Graham Bailey's names to it if it is not true. I think it's about engagement. But here's the thing where I blame Vince, I think Vince himself should know better. But the truth remains if you go and say anything with regards to Vince knowing better and shouldn't have posted this, he's not going to even talk to you. Unfortunately, I like Vince. He's my bro. But yeah, that's a redonkulous report. But it's not his report. He's quoting the person that posted the report. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular afternoon. 16 likes. We can do much better than that. We do have a total of 52 people following the show. 13 on YouTube. The rest shared between X and Facebook. If you're following the show on Facebook or on X, please do us a favor, drop a like on the video, and also do follow our X and Facebook accounts. And if you don't mind, come join us on YouTube. Subscribe. Very soon, we will restart our program to support students. We do every month give away at least $50. Okay, so Santos. If Santos wants to leave, let him sell him. I like Santos, and I like that the fact that he opted to go out and learn to play. But the kid will almost always do what's best for him. He's an excellent player, and he knows it. The world, you could say, the French league is at his feet right now, and should he look at things holistically and figure out at Chelsea, I'm not going to be playing much. At Bayern, I probably will be playing a lot. If he pushes to leave, they're going to sell him. I hope he doesn't. The likes do go a long way. They do. Thank you so much, Ty, for saying that. If Chelsea's smart sign Nunes, I'm not sure what you're saying there. So this guy here says that I have a date with Maya Mills this evening. I like that. I like that one. I think I'm gonna start something new. I'm not gonna talk about it here so that somebody don't steal the idea. Anyway, let me say it. That's like me registering it or trademarking it. I'm gonna start a show where I find a particular comment and all I report. All I do is look at Chelsea fans' comment. I think that would be a good one. Saying here, Coach, I wish we had better man, good sporting directors. I hope Arsenal flop next season. This season is over for them. This guy says, really, do you know his release clause? No need to even look at that. Let's see. This guy says, this club would kill me. I'd take Rodrigo. This person believes it to an extent that he's deciding which would, again, he's making it clear that he'd take Rodrigo over Vinicius Jr. Okay. Some people are just laughing. No chance. You're just being. I am sure Vinny would accept 150K a week salary. I like this one. I like this particular comment from Deke saying, "I'm sure Vinny will actually take a pay cut to join Chelsea." I'm dying here. I love. How did I stumble upon this? I'm sure Vinny. Yeah, I'm sure he will accept one a pay cut. You said because he loves Chelsea so much, and rumors are that Thiago Silva called him a week ago and convinced him that life in London is so beautiful. If he tries London, he will no back. He will never go back to Spain. So he's willing to take a pay cut to join Chelsea. Yeah, Vinny is close to 400K a week, and he's looking to to be on the same wages as Mbappe. But Mr. Bailey thinks any club in Europe has a chance. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And here's the thing: Vinny actually listen, Vince. You don't use your brain. Money is not everything. Vinny, he's heard about London. He's heard about how beautiful it is to live in London. The tower, everything, the beach, even. Yeah. Question in Gallagher wants to leave. Where do you think he goes? Who? I don't care about Gallagher anymore. He's no longer a Chelsea player. He is where he's valued. And for me, he's doing well, irrespective of whether he starts from the bench. Silva and Luis, yeah, both called him. Sorry for correcting me. I read that news too. and he's decided to take a pay cut to join Chelsea Football Club and all that. We have hosts of our Brazilian contingent, former players, all of them called him. Even Pato that didn't play 10 games for us did call him. Even there's the other one that was in our youth ranks at the time, played one senior game. Yeah, they all called him Oscar, all of them, and they've convinced him to take a pay cut to join Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, Pato, all of them, they called him. Okay, this brother right here says he hasn't seen anything this funny today. And BSV says, I'm also a huge admirer of Adele. Adele currently. This is an Arsenal fan. This one is just don't get that. Yeah, don't just I need to oh my goodness. Let's see anything that's funny there that we can look at. Mudrik, this one in pidgin English. Mudrik still the sign to today. Okay. This one is just I need those that get it, that we say twist it to something very delicious we can consume and have a laugh. All right, nothing serious again here. Yeah, this guy would like to see this happen. I mean, dreams do come true. Anything else? Nothing else. Nothing. I think we've read the most hilarious aspect of this of this the most hilarious comments on this particular redonkulous news or hosdung news, if that makes sense. Oh yeah. I think did I miss one? I think I'm gonna read this one. I'm going to take away my feelings because you read the front. Ground Belly's report. That guy, full-time Uber driver. All right, people. Thank you. That's been an excellent one on that redonkulous report that Chelsea, looking to sign. I'm not sure how else to phrase it, but let me not misquote anybody. Let me just scroll up and read it. Might as well tell us that man will make it to the moon, to Mars in the next in the next few months. Chelsea are huge admirers of Vinicius Junior, and would be very interested in landing him if the opportunity arose. Even though he left room, that is the way it is phrased. He'd tell you he never said Vinicius wants to leave Madrid. He will also argue he's never said Chelsea are looking to sign him immediately, because yes, then, but still, he's just exploiting our vulnerability, irrespective of how you read this. He left room. What's the language I'm looking for? Deniability. Nothing said specifically. He knows exactly what he's doing, irrespective of what you think there. Please keep dropping the likes on the All right, well, back again. I think I did indeed lose connection temporarily. So I'm going to share the link to the panel here. If you have time, come onto the panel. Let us know which of the strikers that will be in link with that you think Chelsea should go for. We've been linked with a move for Victor Osimhen, and then Mikel a few days ago did say that should we reignite our interest, that it's going to be easy. I still think Victor Osimhen will end up in Saudi Arabia. I think here's my argument. When we were serious pushing to sign him, I think he was using us to see if he could get a lot more money from the Saudis, and it backfired spectacularly. And probably the Saudis realized that was exactly what he was doing and pulled out, signed a much cheaper player who will equally do a good job for them. But I think they'll still come back for Osimhen. I never at the time believed that Osimhen was serious about joining Chelsea Football Club. And I don't think he'd come out and say he doesn't want to come join Chelsea. He's a Nigerian, and he'd do whatever he can to make the most of out of that opportunity. I think he'd still be saying that he will leave his options open. Should the Saudis come back, they fear that they have competitors and probably have to do whatever they can to get the deal over the line as soon as possible. That is just my opinion. I never believed one bit that Osimhen was serious about joining Chelsea. At the time, my theory was that he was using Chelsea Football Club to get the best deal he can, and wasn't really serious about from the Saudis. And I think they realized that and pulled out. So here's the link to the panel. Come onto the panel. Let us know whether you think Chelsea should go for Osimhen, Victor Osimhen, Viktor Gyökeres, Victor Boniface. Was it last week? We heard that we were interested in signing him. That's also Liam Delap. That's also Alexander Isak. For me, Isak, not for me, for reasons I've explained. And if you want to ask me why not Isak, I will explain. I think we need to mix things up. Isak doesn't differ that much from Nicholas Jackson, except that he's a much better finisher. So if you really want to mix things up, it should be someone like Gyökeres or even Osimhen. But I have my argument as to why I don't think we should sign Osimhen. Link to the panel there. I'm going to put the link there, pin it at the very top. So if you want to come onto the panel and let us know which of the strikers you'd like the club to sign, do so. This is a risk, but I'm going to be paying attention. If anybody plays anything X-rated, I'd mute them immediately and take the video offline. But we can find out who that is, because somebody has said that they will destroy Chelsea perspective. I'm not going to go destroy me, because they cannot. I'm the type person in question. Let's see. All right, here's the link to the panel shared. I don't know if this works the same way. Dante busy, a bit under the weather, something his son brought back home from school. If you have kids, you just understand. I'm lucky that my kids are on break right now, so I'm not gonna get anything new for a while now. Amos Kariuki says he cannot leave Real Madrid because he's paid well and cannot reduce his wages. It's really simple logic, really. But a lot of people, Mr. Amos, don't even consider those factors you've mentioned. And just, you can say they just sock up to the report and run with it. That's concerning. I've shared the link to the panel. If you want to come onto the panel, do so. Can let us know which of the strikers that we've been linked with that you want you'd rather Chelsea Football Club sign. All right, Bobby, big up to you. Bobby, thank you so much for joining the panel. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to be part of the conversation. Looks like this is a perfect timing for you, Bobby.
Yeah, big up, Coach. Big up. What's
Bobby, how are you
the?
doing?
Yeah, good. Always a pleasure. What's the topic?
We were just having fun. The report that Chelsea are huge admirers of Vinicius Jr. and would also be very interested in landing him if the opportunity arose. He did not say specifically we're pushing to sign him. He's left room for deniability, but at the same time, I think he's exploiting the vulnerability of Chelsea fans. And some people, the comments are hilarious. Some recognize that this is absolute horse dung, and we had fun reading the comments there. We also did address Fabrizio Romano stating clearly that Chelsea are not considering, they haven't triggered any clauses that suggest they want to let Jadon Sancho go back to Manchester United. That is too early. Just those are the two items we've addressed, and then we want to get into the next item. We get into be to discuss whether Chelsea should sign Victor Osimhen, Viktor Gyökeres, Liam Delap, or Alexander Isak. And of course, right now, rumors are that Isak is being considered you can say that Liverpool and Manchester, was it Liverpool and Arsenal are both vying for his signature. Yeah, but let's see how maybe you just want to start with the striker options, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll start by saying something about. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Crystal clear.
Hear me? Yeah, I think I'll start by saying something about Vinicius Junior.
Mm,
Um, Now, at this current point in time, it's not very likely, but I don't think. I think that if there's any Galacticos at Madrid who is possibly likely to leave, it would
mm,
be him. I don't think he's particularly happy with the conduct of the Spanish football fans. It's been long viewed and documented his displeasure
mm,
at a lot of the racial chants he gets, especially in things like the Madrid derbies.
mm.
He hasn't extended on his contract, although I do think he has um, a healthy number of years left. And it'll be interesting. But hey, look, it's not likely. If there is anybody that a wage structure for, it would be somebody like him. Most definitely. Do they want to do that? It's not within the plan of the project. But should the opportunity arise, and should that player be made available, I can see the club doing it. I don't think the club would. I mean, everybody thought the club wouldn't drop 100 million on a player. They did it twice in the space of 6 months.
You remember
So
he's currently on 350 a
yeah,
week,
that's
around that, or
that's
400 actually. I can't quite remember, but it's more than that number. But go ahead, what you were saying.
well, we're wasting that on Raheem Sterling. We wasted that for a considerable period of time
Let me
on
find the
Lukaku.
accurate number here.
So it really doesn't matter, even if he's on 1 billion a week. He's somebody that,
Yeah, he's currently on 400.
yeah. So definitely, he would be somebody that the club would break the wage structure for and redress the project for, if it was possible. But it doesn't seem likely. Now, the striker situation, which is likely, is interesting. Either Chelsea will go according to the project and try and pick up somebody like Liam, is it Delap? I don't know if it's Liam Delap. I forgot. I always forget his first name.
The Ipswich
Um,
kid.
yeah, I mean, it
That's the
could be
lab.
someone.
That's the lab. That's the lab.
It could be someone like that, or it could be a marquee. Now, it's going to be interesting because Newcastle's Champions League qualification would be a deterrent, I guess, to anybody coming for Isak.
Mm.
However, Isak himself seems a little bit itchy. I can see him leaving. I don't think he's particularly wanting to stay at Newcastle. Now, the rumor mill has it that it looks like Liverpool will be the ones to get him. That's quite likely in this whole sort of scenario. I think they would have to break the bank, but I think anybody and everybody who goes for him will willingly break the bank in terms of his wages and his price tag. I wouldn't count Chelsea out. I wouldn't count Chelsea out. We do a lot of things in the corner, in the dark at night, as it were. So a silent, sudden attack on this guy isn't out of the realms of possibility. There's also Gyökeres, as you've said, and indeed, I watched highlights of was it a Nigeria game and they played someone. Oh gosh, they played Congo recently, and uh, uh, Osimhen scored two really very interesting goals. The kind of goals from the kind of opportunity you could see him getting at Chelsea that that Jackson often misses. So yeah, you may say it was a one-off. Yeah, you may say, watching less than a minute of highlights of goals he scored in a match, you know, does it mean he's going to come to the Premier League and rip up trees? I don't know, but I'm sure we're looking at him as well. So who we eventually decide on, who knows? And then of course there's always what's the other guy? Is it uh
One of the guys, Boniface. That particular report that we addressed the other day, I don't really believe. I don't believe we're seriously interested in signing Victor Boniface. That was we did address a report on that a few, let's say, a week ago or so.
yeah, I don't think as dangerous as he is and as good a striker as he is, something about him doesn't seem to fit our profile. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't seem to be the kind of player that we will go for or that we would want to fit into our system. I think our striker would have to be more mobile, more adaptable, perhaps a better player with a ball at his feet. Now, you may say that may take away Sesko and Delap. I would say Sesko, he doesn't look quite likely anyway, because rumor has it that he's committed to another year at Leipzig. But Delap is still in the running because he has Premier League experience now. So it's going to be an interesting summer, coach. It's very, very hard to stick your collars to the mast at this point in
Mhm.
time. Just as, these rumors about Jadon Sancho, they're baseless. Kendry Pius at the moment, I think, is probably why the rumors are there, but he's at Cobham now, trying to settle into the country as a whole. And who knows? I don't know if he would be capable of doing what Sancho does. He's never played in Europe, not to mention the Premier League, and nobody can underestimate that. Look at how we heavily criticize young and developing players like Noni, who in the past we wouldn't have been seeing making all the errors he does because he would have been out on loan somewhere or would be playing with the development team. But because we are a project in function, we are letting out these youngsters, warts and all, and we're seeing it and often getting frustrated by what we see. And that's my concern with Kendry Piers and Esteval William. I think they're going to need at least one season to settle in. Even if they stay at Chelsea, they will, to me, I think they're going to be rotational players if they're even here. And I tell you what, if they hit the ground running, wow, then that really, really means that they are exceptional players. It's all going to take time with them. So the Sancho situation, that's another wait and see in the summer. It seems unlikely we'll be offloading him. And we all know the players that are likely to be offloaded already, and the targets that we have, and certainly all those strikers mentioned. One of them will probably be wearing the blue of Chelsea in the summer.
Yeah, unfortunately, some will swear that definitely would be the lab. But if in fact they were the ones sponsoring the briefs that we've been addressing, saying that they will sell about 7, 8 players to raise funds to sign an important, keyword important striker, then I don't think Delap will end up being the guy. I think it have to be Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, maybe Boniface, or even I wouldn't count out the Leipzig guy. What's his name? Um, we've been linked with him now for a move.
Tesco.
The Sesko. Yeah, I don't. No other name comes to mind that you can
Well,
qualify as important. Maybe
Newcastle's.
Alexander Isak. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about Isak, that whole deal, that I'm not saying for any certainty is going to happen. It just feels Chelsea. It feels more Chelsea than any other deal. Yes, he's very high profile. Yes, he costs 150 million. But I just, if anybody's going to drop that money, it'd be Chelsea. And Liverpool being in competition as well is not really a factor for us. We beat Liverpool to the signature of two big midfielders when we weren't even in Champions League contention back then. So, yeah, the years have rolled by, and please God, we are in Champions League contention. But if we are, I think getting Isak is really anybody's game. It really is, and it's probably will come down to his choice, which will be interesting. His choice. Liverpool is a very attractive prospect for him, and fits the things he's been publicly saying. But you know, Chelsea can always blindside people. They talk a good project, and he will definitely be a high profile individual in this team. So, well, he'll be a high profile player anywhere he goes. But for this team in particular, it's not a bad prospect. It's not a bad place for him to be if we qualify for the Champions League. So let's see. I'm not saying it will happen, but I don't think we should be counted out yet for any of them. Any of them. Isak, Osimhen, Gyökeres, Delap, even Sesko, who I think is the outside chance. I think at this point in time and this side of the summer transfer window, we're very much in the hunt.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate that contribution from you. And Amos, I don't know if you're still around. It looks like you've been trying to join. I was waiting for Bobby to drop or to bring you up so that you speak of the striker you want Chelsea to sign and why. But it looks like you have a connection issue. Osman is the right guy. We have very many creators like Enzo and Cole Palmer, who can feed him with good header, with good, you can say, just feed him. It can be on the carpet, it can be in the air. It doesn't have to be on the carpet. I mean, he can finish well, actually. There are other reasons why I'm concerned, not really his ball playing ability. More importantly, the expectation from the fans is one of the main reasons why I'm concerned. They expect him to score 70 goals per season. And when that doesn't happen, they can easily turn on him. And I've spoken about that 1,000 times. But if the manager can adjust the way he approaches the game to ensure he thrives under his at Chelsea, fine by me. And chances are we did push to sign him last summer transfer window because the manager was willing or is willing to adjust his approach to accommodate a tradition number 9 and ensure they do well. But yeah. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The link to the panel is pinned at the very top of the chat window in case you want to come up to the panel and let us know which of the strikers that we're being linked with that you'd like the club to sign and why. Eric, I'll try to add you back if you comment, but it's saying offline and no connection. Osimhen is the right guy. I think I read that again. Anything else? We've addressed this. We had fun reading The responses from Chelsea fan very interesting. Uh, uh, let's see. And Bobby, you'd see some people, and I've seen some people ask that question also. What happens to Mark Gui now? He's still very young, still not at the point where you can say put that much pressure on him to be Chelsea's number one starting striker, because he's more of him and Jackson good combo there. They you can say they bring perfect balance. He's more of a traditional number nine, while Jackson is more of a hybrid number nine, or you could say a second striker. But Gui, I don't think it's of that age where you put that much pressure on him. I think the way we're going about it right now is good. He gets to play European Conference League, and he did well there. I think our top scorer actually was 6 goals in total, and gets to play in the Premier League every now and then to continue his development. That's good enough game time, in my opinion. But I
Mm.
don't think he's of that age where we should put that much pressure on him. But a lot of people think we shouldn't be looking to sign a number nine as long as we still do have him. But I want to get your thoughts on that. Why we wait to see if anybody comes onto the panel to speak on that. Yeah, Bobby, if you're there. Okay, it looks like we've lost Bobby. I can hear him, or he's struggling with his connection. So the link to the panel pinned at the top. We have a total of 59 people watching, 15 on YouTube. The rest shared between X and Facebook, and we will still continue this conversation tomorrow. Yeah, because it's we have to keep busy until club football returns. And Taba Thomas once said Viktor Gyökeres is the real number nine for Chelsea FC at this moment. Can you elaborate on why you think that's the case? You can't just tell us that that's the case, but we want to hear his much. You can, I mean, for instance, if your argument is that he has better ball control over, he can drop deep, he can drift to the flanks and all that. We want to hear that from you, Bobby. Did you hear the questions I asked you?
Yeah, I heard something about Mark Gui,
Yeah, he's
and
too young to be put under that much pressure. He's playing enough in the Conference League, gets to play every now and then in the Premier League. I don't think we should, just because of his progress or because he's shown flashes of what he's capable of doing at his age, say, yeah, that's our number nine, and not go for an out and out more experienced number nine. But let's hear your thoughts.
yeah, I sort of thought about him when I watched Armando Broja play for Albania against England. I think Chelsea have been slightly unfortunate so far with strikers, especially young strikers, and the injuries they've got. I don't know how severe this injury is, but upon return, a youngster like that often uses and loses an additional year, maybe even two, to recover, depending on what it is. If it's something like a cruciate or a major hamstring, I don't know. That usually takes them some time, especially players like that play with a lot of energy and sharp bursts, just like Brozier. It really took him time, and he kept getting injured again, and he's a yo-yo of fitness right now. So I'm not sure what this will do to Mark Gui. Even if he comes back 100% fit, you're correct. He's not going to play a major role. He's going to have to be really in development. He's got to either play a bit part role with the cops and things, which I'm like you, I think that's enough game time. Or if he feels he wants to play every single game, then he'll have to go on loan to where he can do that. That's not always the answer to a player. I think sometimes playing that bit part role until your time matures is a good way as well. And Phil Foden is under Pep Guardiola is a perfect example of that. So we have to wait and see. I think there's a couple of Liverpool, the chap that's sort of going to Real Madrid now. He started like that, bit part here and there, before he could establish himself over a few years. So that is the process for Mark Gui, especially if if we do get the striker that we need. And look, if there's anything our seasons over the past 3 seasons has taught us, is that injury and suspensions um, bring for squad depth, and he would definitely represent that.
Yeah, he will. And I think the manager trusts him and will give him time to you can say mature, learn from the much experience for the more experienced players, and gradually become a regular starter in the first team. He's capable of doing that, and I think he's been patient. He's actually not looking to leave. He's savoring the opportunities that's been given. He savored the opportunity that's been given to him, and unfortunately for him, he got injured. Because had it not been for that injury, I think he'd be playing a lot more. Right, he would have played a lot more in the absence of Nicholas Jackson. But yeah, an unfortunate situation for him. Let's see, Viktor Gyökeres. Let's hear more. You can just tell us that Chelsea to play an extra match with Man U, who loses to Tech Sancho. I think maybe you need to break down a bit for me. I don't know why I don't understand that. Bobby, anything else you want to talk about before we round off? We continue this conversation tomorrow. It's a calling show to keep people busy, and part of it is reading Chelsea fans' comments on certain reports out there, like the one we did on that the Vinicius Junior to Chelsea report. It was fun to read. Anything else you want to talk about, Bobby?
Yeah, just briefly, I get disappointed when I see some of the Chelsea outlets constantly looking for negative outlets to put out on our players. The whole Andre Santos take by someone that I normally quite like and support.
Aha, you're talking about the Andres
Um,
Santos news, right?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah, go
just think
ahead.
it's ridiculous, people inventing and reinventing the wheel. You know, it's everything he says now is taken either from one context or the other.
Hmm.
Ultimately, there are those that want to have a problem with him. Oh, he's going to insist on playing every week. I think we had someone even come on this platform and say, oh, because he wore the captain's armband for Strasbourg, he's going to want to be like that at Chelsea. Well, he wears the captain's armband for the Brazil under 21. That doesn't mean to say he's going to wear the captain's armband for the senior team ever. Who knows, So, it's not the same thing. You wear it at Strasbourg, that doesn't translate to Chelsea at all.
Hmm.
You come and you're a regular at Strasbourg, you have to earn being that level of regular. At Chelsea, you really have to earn it. And the quality then is a step up. So if you're capable of doing that, fine. And the thing about being impatient with that is that, Nottingham Forest were impatient with him. He had a loan spell there. He couldn't even get on the pitch. So, okay, you can say he's developed a bit more, but that should let you know the standard. If you don't take your time and make it at a club like Chelsea, who will get you in to be playing at the high standard, some of these other more established teams, he will end up being rotational anyway. There's no team in the top six that will not have him in some sort of rotation in world football. There's no team in the top echelons. This guy was talking about, Bayern Munich want him, and yeah, if he
I,
goes
I
to
did I
Bayern
did
Munich,
I did talk about that, but here's the baby.
yeah,
Let me make my point clear so that you can respond. And I'm glad you again you're willing to discuss the Andrea Santos situation. Here's the thing. He's a good player, and 2 seasons in a row, he's emerged as a top player for that club and in the French league. And a player as good as he is, and knowing that Bayern are seriously interested in signing him, they're testing the waters, which I said that could lead to Bayern, that could start a fight between Bayern and Chelsea. because I don't think Chelsea will like them tapping up our player. Uh, he is on a long-term contract at Chelsea. He's tied down. But should they push to leave? I don't care what he said. And as I told people, the media will almost always twist what he said for clicks. Should he push to leave, I think the club will find it difficult to keep him, to be honest, because if he sees that he has got he'd have more opportunity to play regularly at Bayern, chances are he might well push to leave because he knows we have Enzo Fernandez, we still have Moises Caicedo, we signed Sugo. There's the other one, Mogu, who we know definitely the plan. I think we've heard from top journalists such as Fabrizio Romano and I think who again saying Asugo, as it has his name, Matis Asugo will
Mm.
go to um,
Salzburg.
Strasbourg and then Santos will return. But I think it's believable to think that Bayern are seriously interested. But as Nee put it, the Blue Line TV did put it. They're testing the waters. Was it Blue Line TV or I think Jan? They're testing the waters, and that could turn his head. Let's be honest here. If they're serious and he sees that he gets to play more at Bayern, I think he may well want to leave. And I understand your point. If it comes to Chelsea, no guarantee he'd be starting week in, week out. We're Chelsea Football Club. We're a big club. And what big clubs do is they have a lot of good players. Some of them sit on the bench or you rotate them. The question is, would he be content with, you can say, being a rotational player if he's guaranteed a starting place at Bayern? I don't know, but I want to hear from you. I mean,
Why do
everybody's
people
argument
think?
makes sense.
Why
But go
why
ahead.
do people think he's not going to rotate at Bayern?
I
I
don't
just
know, but
find that
nobody thinks so. We're
amusing.
just saying they can guarantee him that just to lure him or turn his head.
Yeah, but it's a fake guarantee. He won't. I mean, it's laughable to me that people feel that Bayern's midfield is so poor that Santos is just going to walk in and boss everywhere. I mean,
Mhm.
that's not going to happen either. You have to earn your stripes. Now, there is a lot of talent at Chelsea. There will be one or two, maybe even sold off. I don't know, and there will definitely be two or three on loan. Nobody knows if this Asugo kid, who is definitely coming in to slot into a rotational slot, is not going to be loaned to Strasbourg. Who knows? All I know is that if the Chelsea sporting directors and the manager decide, okay, this summer it's time for Santos to come back,
Mhm.
he will come back and he will fight for his place like he would anywhere else in Europe, in the top flight. And if they feel, oh gosh, we've got so much talent here, we've got what's his name, the Osuga go with Lavia, I don't trust.
Esugo definitely is going to be part of the squad come next season. Esugo and Kwenda, who's a winger, but the single
Yeah,
Esugo is a
well, Quenda is
DM.
on the 2026.
Yeah,
Lavia, I don't trust. I'm not writing him
a
off.
part-time player.
But I don't trust Lavia for us to rely on him. I think we've had 2 seasons where he's not been fit and never been properly fit. So why would we want to rely on that? I think Santos has every reason, if he is selected to come back, to rise to the top and show his worth, and indeed maybe push out one of the regulars. That is not a bad thing either. So I think it's all very uh, uh, um, premature and very sort of scandal wishful thinking that we are already talking like this when we haven't got to the summer. The plan hasn't been laid out, just like Santos himself said. There's no plan laid out at the moment.
That
He's
that
on
they will
loan.
talk at the end of the season. Everybody sits
Exactly.
down and make decision with
It-
regards to what's best for.
for
I think
everybody.
that's actually a mature
Well,
coming from a player as
I
young as
mean,
he is.
it's the only solution. It's not, he can't come and start dictating what his parent club wants. The
Uh-huh.
parent club that's brought him to Europe and taken him to play in this league and start to shine. He can't do that. He has to
Mhm.
wait and see what the plans are. Maresca has kind of hinted he wants him to come back. That's even if Maresca himself is still around. It's another thing. So we have to wait and see. And if we find that we are saturated in the middle, which is possible, there has to be a good reason. Left to me, my personal opinion is that I think he is good enough to
He is
displace
actually.
some
No
some of the
question.
regulars.
Yeah, no question.
I think Lavia would be sweating. He needs to get himself fit.
I think
Um,
the person that will, you can say, the person that
Enzo,
will, Enzo, but they actually, Enzo has better vision, but I think he has more physicality than Enzo. They're not quite the same type of players. I think we can actually
well,
have all of them. We can actually have him, Caicedo, Enzo, and rotate effectively between them. That's what big clubs do, But
well,
go ahead, what you were saying.
it's not abnormal.
It's
The
not
only
abnormal.
thing
Yeah,
is
it's not.
that,
Yeah.
people like Leslie may suffer in terms of yet another loan or maybe
I
a
think
sale.
that's it for Leslie. It would take a serious turnaround in terms of him performing exceptionally on loan somewhere, and the manager looks at him and say, "You know what? I want that guy." I think it's over for him. As much as I think he's a good player, I knew him before he joined Chelsea because I follow a lot of Nigerian talent that I hope will switch nationality and represent Nigeria. You remember when I talked about him, how even when he's not putting in the tackles to win the ball from the opposition players,
It's
he's
position.
occupying
Yeah.
spaces, cutting up passing lanes, which you expect your DM to know how to do.
Yeah.
Those things I explained do come naturally for Leslie, but I think he's been quite unlucky. Unfortunately, I think that's it for him. That's it for him at Chelsea. But that's just my opinion anyway. Go ahead with what you were saying, Bobby.
Well, we shall see. It's up to the manager's choice. I think Santos stands a much better chance because we have a manager that likes little players.
And I mean, we've
Um,
seen him play
the
more.
bigger you are, the less he likes you. So
Bobby.
yeah, I don't think he's so.
But in all honesty, Bobby, the truth is we've seen Santos play more than Leslie. And their
Well, I,
profile
I
is differ.
haven't. I haven't seen him play in the Premier League once. So I think that matters. But I'm just saying, it's likely he will come back and he
Mhm.
will fight it out with Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. That's just how I see it. And the new kid will be a rotational peripheral rotation because the new kid is just about what 18,
Mhm.
19 years old. So unless he's absolutely sensational, he's going to have to earn his way through. I think it's quite healthy. I think it's quite right. Um, I don't know why there's these stories creating a problem where none doesn't really, one doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
It's a take it or leave it situation. Do we
I mean,
want him? Yes. If we do, he's in the squad. If we don't, he's out, either on loan or sold. It's not it's not a big deal.
and for me, I will wait. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
Me
I'm not
too.
too concerned. I think I've learned to be objective enough not to suck up to everything I see out there, and I know how the media behaves. Clicks is first and foremost their priority before anything else. But that's by the way, we see there's a plan to make sure Robert Sanchez catches the first flight out of England. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'll
like
pay
that
for
one.
it. I'll pay.
But Bobby, did you see the comment that he's looking to leave if it's not going to be our number one come next season? I laughed so
Bye.
hard. I said, please,
Bye.
if you go, don't come back again.
Exactly. Close the door on your way out. Oh goodness
But more
me.
importantly, Glenn, nice to see you. I do hope you're dealing with your situation well. And apologies that I haven't found time to reach out to see how you're doing. You know, that's unlike me. But I want to celebrate seeing you here. That's a sign that, in fact, you're strong. Again, always nice to see you. I do miss you. All right. We see Glenn. He's a legend. He's an OG here. We one of those we respect the most in the community. Yeah, Glenn, nice to see you. His name was Glenn, just Glenn. I think it was Dante that started calling him Glenn 10, and he changed that. And I think that sounds beautiful. Big up to you too, brother. Poor reception, so my messages may not come through, but we saw one that we liked, and yeah, that was funny. What else do we have here? We have a Sugo to add to the squad. More physicality to the. He's physical. He may not be the biggest player, but he's physical.
Yeah, but when we talk physicality, we're looking for height as well, which is, it's not at the moment at Chelsea. It's not quite enough to just have the short, stocky players. We need a little bit more height. And to be fair to Leslie, he gives that. But I don't know. Maybe the mobility of the likes of Santos and Asugo, you called him.
Yeah, Matis Asugo. No, no, there's
I'm talking
Asu.
about the
We
the
have two.
the
There's Asugo, the one we signed from Sporting CP.
sporting the
That's
sporting guy I'm talking about.
Yeah. Then we have the other
Yeah.
one we signed from the French league that got to play. I think he played the part. Was it in Europa League or in the Premier League against Southampton? He came off the bench to play. I don't know. We have enough numbers there, in my opinion. But go ahead with what you were
Yeah, I
saying.
mean, but there's always, I don't know how maybe their athleticism will help, but even in the days of when Chelsea had people like Claude Makelele, who was quite tiny, to be honest. I would call him more the Jean Tigana type of player, if you ever know who that was. And then
Tigana, was he Argentine or Brazilian?
French, French,
French, French. Oh, French.
French.
Okay.
Midfielder that played with Platini back in the 80s. But they're when we had these little midfielders,
Hmm.
we had big guys in there with them. Your Lampards and Ballack and Mikel. Although Mikel took over from Makaleli in the end, but he was always an option. So the height factor is something that concerns me and may lead to a difficult decision. I don't know. We have to wait and see. But if he trusts these guys, then he
I don't know
has to make
how
up.
tall is the star. The new star was signed. The CB. I don't know his first name to
Yeah.
find out how tall he is. But go ahead, Bobby.
I think he's about another 5'8" sort of player.
The
They're
new
not.
star, the CB.
I think so. I think so. Just if you Google it, you'll see. But um, I mean, he's not a midget, as it were, but he's not in the Premier League when you have these players that are 6 foot, 6'5", 6'6", knocking in corners, crosses, set pieces. It's a problem. I don't care how athletic you are. If somebody gives you a whole almost a foot in height, the distance they have to go to meet the ball is far less than you. It's just common physics.
Hmm.
So I don't know. That's the only thing that makes me uncomfortable. I think we have too many little guys in midfield. When we had Gallagher's 6 foot. He's compared to some other midfielders. He's not particularly the biggest, but he's not the smallest either.
No,
And
what he lacks in you can say in build in terms of his height and overall stature. He makes up for his industry. Makes up with
tenacity.
his industry and energy, tenacity, and everything. Yeah.
He's very tenacious. So look, we have to wait and see. We have a luxury of very good young midfielders. Now it's up to the manager to use them. I don't want to hear. I am sick and tired of listening to Maresca talking about players playing his way and all that nonsense. He has the quality. He has to be able to use those players, and he must rotate them. I don't subscribe to this nonsense where he can't rotate people like Palmer and so on, even when they are desperately needing a rest or desperately needing a refresh. I think that was his huge failing over the December period of this season. It was an enormous failing, and if he has that same failing, if we have these midfielders, then it's going to lead to problems, like
Mhm.
it did in January. But he's got to keep them engaged, keep them invited to the process. That way, they will play for you. Real Madrid have all manner of players on their bench, Camavinga, all of them, but they are, as much as is reasonably possible, they are kept engaged with the matches, with the events. They're not just left; they're brought on from the bench. They don't go game after game, not even coming off the bench. That is ridiculous, and that has to stop at Chelsea. The only positions that I would accept some sort of more stability in terms of changing them consistently is the centre backs. I think your centre backs, more than anywhere else, and probably your goalkeeper, is a position that needs to be quite consistent game in, game out.
Yeah. All right. Here, Glenn is saying he's not. That's. I'm going to reach out to you so we can speak in private. But whenever I see you here, I celebrate you, irrespective of what you're going through. I believe in higher powers. I'm even listen. I will keep praying for you, brother. I love you, and when I say that, it comes from deep down my heart. Much love to you, and stay strong. Stay strong. I'm not apologies here as well for not making it to many live shows. You don't have to because I understand your situation. I'll try to catch up where I can. Happy to talk with you, gents, again. Happy to always have you here whenever time allows. And we do say exchange posts. You guys, I respond to your posts because I follow you. Again, that's another way of showing each other. I still can I know you exist. I still remember you. I still care. We don't have to actually send messages, but sometimes sending messages is taking it to another level, showing, yeah, I have time today. How can I be of help as a brother or as a friend? Important question. Does he walk into the squad? Who exactly? But let's see. While I wait for you to clarify what you're asking there, I'm going to read what Glenn has to say here. Glenn is saying, I was thinking about what Bobby said regarding Lavia. I share the concerns, no bias here, even though you're Belgium, so I know. I was wondering, did we buy him? Why he was injured, or am I tripping? I think we did. I think we already signed him before he got injured or something like that. Because I don't think you can sign an injured player, Bobby, can you?
Well, they have to pass the medical, don't they? So he wasn't injured when we bought him, but he got injured shortly after in training.
That's interesting, really. Because yeah, he got injured shortly after, and till now, you could argue he's become a part-time player, and I didn't say that. That's according to Rodrigo, and I don't blame
I think
Rodrigo.
he's less than a part-time player. He's a bit part, but in the literal sense of the word, he is a bit part player.
He
He
works
doesn't
from
play.
home.
Yeah, he works from home. Yeah, he plays from home. Uh-huh.
Really do like him. I like Lavia,
Uh,
but
he's a
unfortunately,
wonderful player. You can
he
see it
is.
when he's slightly fit, but that is not really. I like that works from him. Who put that? Was someone in the chat? I'm sure.
That just came to mind. What I
Yeah.
heard before from Rodrigo is that he's a part-time player, but yeah, you were looking for something more serious than being a part-time player. That's when I said he works from home.
Oh, right, that's yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
that's
bad.
funny.
I like him, but oh my goodness, I hope he recovers and stays fit because he's different. He complements Moses Caicedo and vice versa and Enzo Fernandez. He's different. He reads the game better than the three of them. He reads the game better from an offensive and defensive perspective, better than the other midfielders we have. Honestly, in terms, but maybe Enzo Fernandez has better vision, but Lavia is different. He's you can say more agile than the two of them, more flexible, quicker to react to
He's a
situations than
battler.
the other two would. Sorry,
He's a battler. He's more of a ball
he
winner.
is. Yeah, he's more combative than the other two. Yeah, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Really, honestly, I had an injury history. Let's see what we have here. I know job students putting putting in more hours than lads. Honestly, it is concerning. I will never forget the day I heard from Rodrigo that that Lavia is a part-time player, and yeah, thank God we figured something more concerning than that is that he works from home while he's a footballer. Figure that out. Poch tax, not really, because we've moved on from Poch and still he's not fit enough. He just recovered. Uh, and who knows whether if he plays again, comes on, plays just for 3 minutes, he gets injured again, and then we'd never see him for another 7 months. Um, God forgive me. I really want to go to heaven. I'm serious. Okay. If you're in the comment section and you have any questions, drop it. We'll try to address it now that we have Bobby here. So if I can answer your question, I will push it to Bobby because I don't like difficult questions. I'll pretend I can't see it. We have a total of 69 people following the show, 16, 17 on YouTube. The rest divided probably, definitely between X and Facebook. I appreciate you all. If you're following the show on X or Facebook, come join us on YouTube. We're going to restart the program where we do a giveaway to support our members who are students. At least you get to win $50 every month. You can't win every month, though. You win after every 6 months. If you've won it now, then you're not going to get a chance to participate for another 6 months, so that someone else will get the chance to win. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Anything else you want to talk about, Bobby? Anything else interesting?
No, that's I guess that's the news we have, the most current news at the moment. Tomorrow is another day.
Mhm.
I don't know how much of the internationals you've been watching, whether that's worth a mention. Chelsea
I
participation.
definitely did not mean miss the England game. I did not miss that.
Yeah, I mean, I was so glad that Tuchel didn't bring Reece James on to play 90 minutes. I think he played something like 10 at the end, which is fine. But I hope that doesn't mean to say he's going to flog him on Monday. Um, which I think, when's our Spurs game? The Thursday. Is it Thursday or the following week? I can't remember.
Let me check, and I'll give you the exact date. But I think in a week's time, more than a week's time from now. Let me check Chelsea's schedule. If you have any questions, to drop in the chat. We'll play sports on April 3rd. So how many days from now?
April
About
3rd
10
is a
days, 10 days
Tuesday.
plus. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday. But yeah, he does need to be protected. It's good if he's going to the England camp and he's going to receive protection, then I'm all for it. It's but if he's going to the England camp and Tuchel behaves like Southgate did with Chilwell, then I just don't see the point.
I think he's an intelligent manager and he knows better. That was, which you could argue, probably the reason why James didn't start. He knows James isn't quite there yet in terms of his fitness. It still looks like he needs to lose some weight, but that is my opinion anyway. But here's the thing: I said this the moment the FA hired Tuchel. I'm gonna get back to supporting England again. I never liked watching England on the Southgate because I didn't trust him tactically. He had the players. Tuchel is a cup manager. That's what people call him. He's an expert at winning competitions where just not like the league thing isn't quite his thing. He's an excellent tactician, and I think he would do well with England. You could see how England was controlling the game with confidence, never in doubt. Never in doubt. Even opposition players that played against his teams in the Premier League will play with him with respect, knowing that, yeah, he's shocked them. But that's, by the way, let's see this meme. I think that was by a South African pastor. Ridiculous, really. I said it. If you don't find me in heaven, you are not in heaven. Yeah, that's by a South African pastor. That's hilarious, really. Has Maresca done enough to stay at Chelsea? Okay, good question. Bobby is here. Here's the thing. If you don't mind, Bobby, let me go first. Should I?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
I think he's done enough. If you compare where we are now to where we were at this point last season, yeah. If you maybe we should wait till the end of the season to now compare.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I
Yeah.
think
In
the end of the
terms of
season will dictate that.
yeah, and here's something I need to explain to people. People were saying his approach is boring. He changed the approach because we started conceding a lot of goals and started losing games. And the moment he changed to that boring approach, we started getting results. Even though we didn't play well in some of those games, we still won. That's what a good manager does. It doesn't have to always be pretty. Had Pochettino done what he's doing now last season, chances are we'd finish in the fourth place. But Poch was so stubborn until towards the end of the season. Pay attention. Go take your time. Look at all of the games we played under Enzo Maresca. At the start of the season, yeah, we lost our first game in the season, which you could say debunks the argument that the wins at the start of the season were all new manager bounce. No, it wasn't, because we lost our first game and we were still able to recover. We were firing on all cylinders, winning games, scoring. Opposition scored when we were outscoring them. The first thing he noticed that, for me, he tried to address was that he realized, yeah, we score a lot of goals, but we concede a lot of goals too. But here's the thing: we cannot always outscore opponents, which was when he realized we had a crappy defensive line or porous defensive line, whatever language that's more relatable to you, or you could say a shaky defensive line, inexperienced defensive line. He realized, okay, maybe it would be better off having a proper protection from the midfield. That will also help solidify our defensive again work, which was when he dropped Enzo Fernandez and at the time started pairing Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. And truthfully, the moment he did that, we started conceding less. But the truth remains, irrespective of whether Enzo Fernandez was our top creator at the time, it was Dante, and some people that were really looking at things beyond the results we were getting at the time. We started letting people know, if you pay attention, we're creating less and less chances. Because yeah, for Cole Palmer to do well, as we've seen, in my opinion, we have to have Nicholas Jackson and Enzo Fernandez on the pitch. The number of chances we were created at the time dropped. I wouldn't say significantly, because I have to measure the disparity between the numbers of chances we were creating after he was dropped and when he wasn't dropped. But unfortunately, people started pushing the narrative of how many games we lost with Enzo Fernandez in the team and out of the team, which doesn't make sense. To me, that argument, I told people at the time, was fundamentally flawed, because they were accounting for last season also, when the entire team was SHIT, as Bobby would like to say it. But here's the thing. Then he did find a way to actually play the three of them. Then we started scoring a lot more. Then at one point, the inexperience in our team started showing. And thank goodness, John, if you go read John Terry's recent comment, he said even when we were winning games, he knew that at some point which will struggle a bit, which is natural with every team. But in our case, it will happen because definitely he was certain it was going to happen because we have inexperienced players. And which was why some of us at the time, when people were screaming, most especially opposition fans were screaming, we're in the title race, we're just denying it. And Bobby were even saying, no, we're not. Until we get to April, if we're still there, then he'd agree that we're in the title race. And I was telling people, okay, here's the thing, to be objective, mathematically, we're in the title race. And the disparity in points between the table-topping team at the time and us weren't that much. Technically, we're in the title race. And I did say clearly, from the perspective of where we are in terms of our project, the phase of our project, and the players we have, the average age, that, yeah, we're not quite there. I knew that there will come a time where we'd struggle. And do you know how I realized that a lot of people that I thought were being sarcastic when they were screaming when the title race, we're back, how I knew that they did in fact did believe that we're in the title race at the time was when we started struggling, they lost their SHIT, which is reflective of the fact that truthfully, deep down, they did believe that we were in the title race. So, but that's by the way. So the manager realized that, yeah, we can't play the same way we started the season. If we continue that way, we'd be losing a lot of games. And had we continued with the approach we started the season with, chances are we'd be 16th, 18th, or maybe even, let's say at most 10th in the table. So he changed things. It is boring, but all on papers, because we don't have the experience to say we lost this one, let's go out and be all out to attack and win the next one, and then in the process leave ourselves vulnerable at the back and concede goals. But unfortunately, the average football fan doesn't look beyond results and the approach, honestly. So in my opinion, I'm not concerned about how boring it is. Just win games, and it has worked. Had we continued with the scattergun approach, go attack, we have strike, we can have scored the opponent, we probably be in 10th position right now. And remember, the disparity in points between the teams from 10th position up isn't that much, really. I don't know if that has changed that much, but you get my point. So it's difficult. So, but let's hear you, Bobby, your thoughts. I'd say, yeah, I think he deserves actually to get next season, irrespective of how we finish. But one thing I want him to do is to learn from his mistakes. One thing more importantly, learn to create healthy competition between players, which I expected him to do with João Felix and Cole Palmer, what's his name, the Portuguese international who left us for Juventus so he can play a centre back, Renato Viega and Levi Colwill, but he didn't do that. He actually stupidly, openly said that João Felix isn't playing because Cole Palmer is available. I hated him for that, even though I love him as a manager. But I'll let Bobby answer the question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you've said. The only thing I would add to that is, how acceptable is it really not finishing in a Champions League place? I don't think it is at Chelsea. I really don't. I think he has to achieve that. Would that affect his position? Possibly not. But
It depends on how badly we end the season, though.
yeah, exactly. The end of the season is important. And, people tend to underestimate the power of the fan base. Once the fan base is not with you, you give the ownership no choice. So he really has a lot to do. He's in the right position at the moment, but there are also other teams around him on form and threatening. So he needs to buck his ideas up. But other things I agree with you about raising healthy competition. We've said that till the cows come home. We just have to wait and see. Does he have the potential of a winning manager? Yes, he potentially has that vibe, maybe even more so than Pochettino did. But having the vibe and activating it are two different things. so he must start to activate it. Unfortunately, at a club like Chelsea, there's only so much project that can be tolerated. And to be honest, with the level of investment that has gone in, I don't even think the ownership will be prepared to tolerate much
No, they
more
will not.
mediocrity.
They will be
Um,
considerate, but they're not going to tolerate mediocrity, just like you said.
Yeah, yeah, because they're invested, and although it is their type of investment, which may be a contributing factor, but I think they have got enough talent there, and our performance throughout the season has proved that we have enough talent to achieve our goals. We've been mainly in the top four, and up until December in the top two. So that's not a coincidence. The table doesn't lie. So the only thing that happened, well, when I say only, was injuries in certain players, and that exposed our lack of squad depth following January and the lack of integration the manager implemented amongst players in key positions. That has to improve.
Yeah, and Heston, if you're there, Mabast, if you want to come onto the panel and let us know which of the strikers you'd like us to sign, you're welcome to do so. Bobby has kept me busy, and now I thought I'd be done by now, but I'll stay. I can see my boys from here. I haven't added content to the studio because this studio is not isolated like our home in Las Vegas. Big up, big up, big up. Lateness is greatness. Welcome to the show. Make sure you drop a like on the video. We have a total of 65 people following the show. Only 11 on YouTube. The rest divided between X and Facebook. What do we have here? We have Wax saying some United fans dislike Amorim's one-dimensional approach, playing the same way every match. We should probably appreciate Maresca's fluid approach. The only obvious problem is his squad selection. You could argue that, but here's still something that you've been able to pick up with that I agree. The biggest myth within the Chelsea community is that he's one-dimensional. He's not. There are basics to his approach, but he's almost always tweaks things based on who we're playing. The basics of inverting remain, and sometimes we've actually played with traditional. We've had our fullbacks apply themselves in a traditional manner, but unfortunately, when things aren't going well, people will almost always, you can say, nitpick, and you can say pick the slightest of, you can say, things they feel is the reason why we're struggling and run with it, and people will listen. Unfortunately, that's how things are. I've always said Amorim will struggle in the Premier League. It's not looking good. Maybe he'd pick up, adjust, change his approach to adapt to the Premier League. We'll see. Is the Nicholas Jackson injury the main reason for Cole Palmer's struggle? I mean, arguably, you could say partly, because we're seeing that he does miss Nicholas Jackson. He was struggling a bit before Nicholas Jackson got injured, but after Nicholas Jackson got injured, he got worse. Um, yeah, these things happen in football. But Cole, for me, his issue, if he wasn't, at some point became a confidence issue, which means that the moment the first one goes in, that's it. He'll be back to his best again. Because I remember him missing hat trick of chances against Southampton on a few minutes. Unlike him, that was when I knew it was a confidence issue, in my opinion. Big up to you too. And some people are actually busy blaming the manager. No, right now, what Enzo Maresca achieved quickly was making us not too reliant on Cole Palmer, but people weren't paying attention. Yeah, and I think that will go a long way for us. When you rely on a single player, that's a huge problem if you don't know. Big up Kuchila. Since it's an international break, let's hope three of our injured players come back from injury. We really miss Jackson, Madueke, and Gui. Irrespective of what you think of Nani Madueke, we've missed him. I've spoken 1,000 times with regards to the aspect of his game that he needs to improve to become a much better player. But obviously, yeah, we've missed him, honestly. Let's see. In almost 3 years, Enzo Fernandez has not delivered any consistent form warranting the backing from the fan base. I mean, that's your opinion. I will back him anytime any day. Even that season under Potter, he did well enough that the club, even a few months into him arriving at Chelsea, triggered the extension in his contract. That's how I see it. But you're entitled to your opinion, information. So nice to see you here. I do hope you're doing well. But we do see, we as individuals, especially as football fans, we do see things from the foreign lenses or different lenses, and I'd be shocked. I don't stay where people agree. In most cases, it depends on circumstances. Where people agree that one, you can, then something is quite wrong. I like where people debate every solution provided on the somebody suggests, which means people are thinking critically. But so yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. The Italian media deserves it to be in the eighth place for saying that wasn't nice, really. Bobby, I'm quite sure you've heard the Italian journalist saying Joao Felix is as useless as he's handsome. Uh, that wasn't nice. I was thinking the things we were hearing at the time was just them doing the usual, you could say, approach, the usual thing they do to downplay the you could say downplay how good a player is so that they can get him on the cheap. Give the manager the correct tools, a keeper, striker, and a CB, then we judge objectively. That's a good point right there. But we'll see. What else do we have here? Who are we comparing him to? Potter? Isn't that like comparing the knockoff cooks to Coca-Cola? I'm sorry, I'm not a fan, but yeah, I'm not going to organize a protest. No, I will not. The revisionism, I think, is not okay. I think it's better
No,
than them.
this is not the time in the
Mhm.
season to be talking protest.
Yeah.
We need to. This is the time to get behind the players. I think one thing that really stuck out as a sore thumb, and we have to um, bow our heads in shame
Mm.
in the Chelsea fan base, is if you look at the Copenhagen team, when they came, they were definitely inferior, they were outclassed, but see their support. We need to start doing that sort of thing at the stadium for Chelsea.
Unfortunately, Bobby, I think that only changes. The behavior of our home fans only changes when we
with
have a much
success.
bigger stadium to accommodate more match-going fans, home fans in the stadium. That's the only time that changes. Even that's not a guarantee, actually, because you can say that behavior of you can say turning against the team the moment that things go down south at the slightest measure. I think that's behavior trickled down to even the non-match going fans. So that's not a guarantee that that changes. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, football has a culture. And sadly, in recent times, we've tried to move away from our culture. We brought things into football that don't belong there. I don't
Mm,
want to get into the topic, but if you notice, I have a certain focus on a certain type of football, and I
mm.
won't veer to the left or to the right. And the reason for that is I think there are other types of things trying to interject some obscure societal anomalies into football, and this has filtered into the fan base such that the core culture is getting diluted, and that's never good. The ownership need to be careful with that. If they think they can change culture of football and still get the same atmosphere and the same dedicated fan base, they are mistaken. They're not going to get that. So I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
anybody
Maybe it's
wants to change
lost.
the culture.
Oh, they
Honestly,
do, coach. They do. If you feel the vibe we have in this country, some of the things that's coming into football just shouldn't be there at all. Some people are. A perfect example is how they're trying to politicize football. I was very, very much in support of people like Mark Gui, and I've forgotten the name of the other player, refusing to wear certain symbols, saying, look, they have a certain religious faith. They don't particularly advertise it. Why should they be forced to get on the bandwagon of this thing that really has nothing to do with them and certainly has nothing to do with football? Now, I'm all for that. Even when we had players, remember we had Marcus Alonso refuse to take the knee. Now, some people may find it controversial. I just think it became, we're sending out too many symbols that don't belong in football. Let's just focus on the football,
All
on the
right.
team. And if we can, and it spoiled Chelsea. I've been at Stamford Bridge. I've been there at times when, we were really, really pants. Our performances was relegation stuff back in the early 80s, late 70s. But the few people that came were vociferous. They were scarf waving Chelsea fans who would run onto the pitch as you could in those days for every victory. There were things that took place in that stadium. Chelsea Football Club hold the record, believe it or not. You would not believe it, of attendance. In the 1940s, I wasn't around then, 40s, 30s, and 20s, Chelsea were pulling in 80,000, 100,000 fans a week. Now, things were different then. There was no television, but it just shows you that it is a culture. It's a belief that drives the team. Look at Liverpool. You can still see some of that old Liverpool culture that they use to support the team. So I think our fan base really needs to reconsider itself. We're getting into a culture where we have groups that enjoy attacking the club. Support is there. Win, lose or draw, you're there in the rain, in the snow. You're there. You're supporting the team. That mentality has gone. We've become this sort of childish, looking to blame the club, the ownership, throwing out the baby with the bathwater in every situation. And that has to stop. And that's just the reality, coach. If we don't stop it, we'll be affecting the team from the impotent stands.
All right, sorry. Let's catch up with what we have here. Let's see. So you're repeating what he says already. Sorry, Bobby. That's from Glenn. I think Bobby understood what you meant. He's just, you can say, he did address it from the perspective you pointed at. He's not. I'm disagreeing with you. He says, "Sorry, Bobby. I only realized the whole debacle. What I meant was I'm not going to boo him or want us to lose him." Yeah, Bobby
Yeah,
understood what
yeah.
you meant there. He was just addressing it from the angle you were pointing at. He's not disagreeing with you, if
No,
you
I'm
get
not.
that.
I'm
No.
not.
And I understood he wasn't disagreeing with you. What else do we have here? Keep dropping likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Elaborate on what do you need elaboration for? I think he's done that, explaining. Margui getting injured at the worst time. Watch him return when Jackson is back. Yeah, both will return at the same time, but I don't think both. I think his case is worse actually. I don't think both will return at the same time. Sorry, because I've heard the manager say his looks worse than that of Jackson. So he probably may well be out until the end of the season because by the time he comes back, it might be too late to integrate him. Big up, Kishan. Nice to see you. What are you doing here, man? You know I don't like you. Looks like AC Milan don't want Felix. Clearly, they don't want him. They've made that clear. No need. Sancho isn't capable of running at the players. Too slow, too lazy. That's your opinion. Let's see. But I've told you he's not going anywhere. Sancho takes decades to run at players. Wow. Big up, big up, big up, Keisha. Nice to see you, my New York brother. Hope you're doing well. Bobby, anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day? I don't think anything new has emerged. And Kishan is saying, better get Osimhen. Why? You don't just tell us to get Osimhen. Why would you want us to get Osimhen? And if Osimhen comes, he don't score. He finishes the season without scoring 20 goals. Would you still be patient with him? That's one of my biggest concerns. The fans would turn on him, irrespective of whether the manager's approach is the reason why he finishes the season with just 7 goals. Irrespective of whether we win the league, people would turn on him. That's where I'm concerned. Do I think he's a good player? Yeah, he's powerful, quick, excellent aerially, can put away goal scoring chances than most of the players we have right now. But if he finishes the season and doesn't score as many goals as he did at his prime at Napoli, or even right now he has 20 goals plus in Turkey, people will turn against him. So the link to the panel is pinned at the very top. We'll be rounding off soon. If you feel like you want to come onto the panel and convince us that Osimhen is the guy for us, do so. We'll wait for you. Big up to you too, Temidayo Olunwa Rodcon. Me, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, my bro. Osimhen, when we have Jackson, they're two different players. We can actually start them both with Jackson playing as a second striker, or maybe just deploy him in a 4-2-3-1 where you call him a 10, but not necessarily a 10, where he operates as a second striker and Osimhen as the number 9, because Jackson likes to drop deep. Yeah, and he does that exceptionally well. So they're not the same. That's the reason why we're looking to sign a striker. And the reason, because of Nicholas Jackson, is the reason. If you say we shouldn't sign Isak, I'll say yes. Why? Isak doesn't differ that much from Victor Osimhen. The difference is that he's a much better finisher right now. Actually, Jackson can get to that level with good practice, and if he's paying attention, if he's the sort of person that does self-reflection and look at areas where he needs to do better to become a much better player, then he will definitely get to Alexander Isak's level. But I don't think we need Isak. If we're going to spend that much money to buy Isak when he's, in my opinion, not different from Nicholas Jackson, except that he's a much better finisher. Except if we sign Isak and now go spend money on a more traditional or more stereotypical number 9, then fine. But it just doesn't make sense if we're saying we want to mix things up and then sign Isak. But that's just my opinion. But in my opinion, because I am in favor of a more fluid approach than a traditional number approach where you have a defined number 9, stereotypical traditional number 9, out and out number 9, whatever language you prefer, leading to us channeling majority of our goal scoring chances through a single individual. Once we get to the final third, I'm not a big fan of that. But if the manager wants to do that, fine. But mind you that it will take more than just having good players to get the best out of Victor Osimhen. The manager would have to tweak his approach to accommodate the traditional number 9. That's just my approach. And Osimhen, as good as he is as number 9, he can drop deep, yeah, but he's not that sort of player you can say, yeah, he's capable of playing on the flanks if need be. He'd be useless. And I think he would want to also to be, you can say, the whole thing to be centered around him. He'd like that situation where once we get to the final third, for us to channel majority of our goal scoring chances through him, because that's how he's played all his life. If that changes, he's going to score a lot less, and I don't think he'd like that too. And the fans also wouldn't like that, irrespective of the manager's approach being the reason why he's not the main guy. We play differently. Chelsea should only sign Osimhen. We need a proper striker. Once again, the link is pinned at the very top. You can come onto the panel and let us know why it should be Osimhen. We will continue this debate tomorrow. So we'll be rounding up soon. Yeah, you're late. They say lateness is greatness, but not when you're this late. Namai saying, I heard Palmer out for the rest of the season. You're going to hell for lying for such big lie. Honestly. Victor and Jonathan David on a free. We send Jackson to left wing. Victor, I would take Jonathan David on a free. I will. Do I think we should pay money to sign him? No, because we have his type in Nicholas Jackson. but we can still get him on the free. Fine. Just another player I want us to get on the free is Olaina. Yeah, Jonathan David is an excellent finisher. I would take him anytime, any day. Maresca will convert Jackson to left wing. I would take that. He tracks back effectively. The lab Ekitike, I haven't actually considered, maybe because I don't know him that well. But the rumors are that we're going for a big name number 9. And I've told people if we end up signing the lap as a big name number 9, then yeah, I don't know. I will start my own campaign. Parma as Parma. That's because we don't have too many options. We could easily cook with Parma on the wing and someone like Tijani from AC Milan in the central attacking midfield. Possibly. I don't want the Delap and Sesko at Chelsea. Those two strikers are not Chelsea level. That's how I see them too. I take Sesko over the Delap, but here's the thing: it makes sense to consider the Delap over Sesko because he has Premier League experience. But I just haven't seen enough from the Delap to say, yeah, he's the striker that Chelsea wants. But that's just my opinion anyway. That's a question for you, my boss. What is the lead by players that fit what you want to do? More importantly, I agree. I agree, promise. Have you seen a video of 2 Nigerian players in the hotel room being given
You know,
I haven't checked that. Yeah, go ahead, Bobby. Were you saying something?
I was you are the person that made me very skeptical about Victor Osimhen, and I had concerns about him. But honestly, it was only a very, very short highlight, but his movement, his finishing, and his approach play in those highlights, um, I don't know. I can see this guy coming here and becoming Drogba-esque. He has an aura about him. He
He can lead.
leads. He
He can lead.
yeah. He leads. He scores. He fights. He motivates. I mean, I don't know him. Because in the Premier League, you've got to be day in, day out, that sort of player. But just as an example of what a influence Didier Drogba was in the Chelsea dressing room, in the whole team. When Didier came back from Chelsea after retiring and leaving after the Champions League victory, he came back at the age of 33 under Jose Mourinho
Mhm.
when we won. I think he was playing then as a bit part player off the bench and so on. But I think he was probably the most influential player that brought the Premier League back to Chelsea that season. I think we won it because of him. He came back, he scored, he motivates, Didier is somebody that was exceptional. I remember the talk he gave to Ryan Bertrand when he was picked for the Champions League final. Then Ryan Bertrand was something like an 18-year-old left back. It was the biggest game of his life to play for Chelsea at all, not to mention play in the Champions League final. And
Go ahead, Bobby. I get a drink. I'll be back.
he was terrified. And Didier pulled him aside and said to him, "Hey, what are you worried about? It's only football. Just get out there, enjoy yourself, live for this moment because it may not happen again." And that's exactly what he did. And for someone so young and so inexperienced as he was in those days, he had an excellent game. So I wouldn't be upset if we brought Osimhen to Chelsea. However, he's got to prove himself to be that guy. But everything I've seen about him so far shows me that he could very much be that guy. Let's see. No comments in the chat. Where are they? Are we? Can't really see what anyone's saying at the moment. Let's see. Gyökeres, right. Uh, uh, what's this? Who's my best? Coachella, I have sent the video to you on Instagram. Okay, you're having a chat with Coach. I'm looking for questions. If anyone has any questions for me.
Yeah, if you have any questions for Bobby, he's still awake, but he's sounding like he's about to doze off.
I am very
Okay, yeah. Victor is the best in the
interested.
market.
Yeah.
Do I think he's the best in the market? Yeah, but here's my argument, and I'm quite
Which
sure Bobby.
Victor?
He
Osimhen
means
or
Big
Gyökeres?
Osimhen. Osimhen, I think Osimhen he means.
Okay.
I think Osimhen is an excellent footballer, and if we had Mourinho as our manager, I said get him. Don't waste time. Even Mourinho would tell you Osimhen is the guy. Because he likes to play with the traditional number nines. He's not into the fluid approach. You will see he'll still see his players rotate the number nine guy move into the flanks, but it's not something he wants to see all the time. I know you understand my point, which is driven by how I know. You can say driven by the behavior of the fans. They would want him to score 20 goals, irrespective of how the manager approaches the game. For instance, Lukaku, the interview was what cost them, what you could say gave the Chelsea fans the opportunity to show their dissent with regards to him not scoring as many goals as they would want him to. Not really that he played badly. Had it not been for that interview, I think he would have stayed more at Chelsea, probably end up proving that, yeah, he can do well. But I never wanted us to sign him for reasons I explained, because I knew how Thomas Tuchel played at Mainz, PSG, Borussia Dortmund. How he's not into your traditional number nine. So there has to be a lot more to your game before he chooses you as his number nine at the time. But he was willing to make it work. Then, boom, he granted that interview and said the nonsense he said there. But that's, by the way, listen, I like Osimhen as a number nine, but I'm seeing, considering the manager we have and how he likes to approach the game and the behavior of the fan base, I don't want to see a part two of the Lukaku Chelsea saga, really. Osimhen, he's performed consistently across leagues. Germany, not that much because he was starting at the time. They didn't trust him. I think he went on loan to a Belgian club where his last season he scored, I don't know, was it 20 goals for the entirety of the time he was there. Then in France he did well. Then in Napoli was when he arrived, actually, when the whole world knew he's a powerhouse number nine. And in Turkey he's killing it. But these factors are important. We don't want to pay that much money for that class of player and then get to use him in certain games. I'm quite sure if he comes, he's going to be starting every game, except if the manager decides to rest him. But a lot of things have to happen for him to thrive at Chelsea. The manager tweaking his approach to accommodate the traditional number nine. The fans understanding that there's a chance we will not see him measure his output at Napoli when he scored 30 goals plus in a single season. Because if the manager decides he's still going to be going with a fluid approach, there's no way Osimhen will get to that many goals. And the fans, I fear, will turn on him. I can't say this enough, but that's, by the way, if you have any questions for
Actually,
Bobby,
I
yeah,
kind of beg to differ.
yeah.
I don't dispute you about the fans turning on him. You know, Chelsea fans can turn on anybody. They even turned on Didier at times, especially in the early part of his career at Chelsea, where the media were accusing him of diving every 5 minutes and trying to assassinate his character, as they
And
do.
the Chelsea fans sided with the media.
Yeah, well, they got convinced by the media. We have a very dangerous media here. You know, they do all sorts of things. But apart from that, I think Osimhen is the kind of player that can fit into any system. He's not the Lukaku type. Lukaku was more or less one dimensional. He was the all out and out striker. He always had to be down the middle. He always had to be that guy that was in the box when the ball was in the air. Um, I think Osimhen is more mobile. I think he's more inclined to defend as well as attack and to win the ball. And I also think he's faster than people give him credit for.
Who?
Osimhen.
That's no
Um,
questioning his pace, really. If anybody questions his pace, don't discuss football with that person again.
yeah, I mean, I've heard people say, "Oh, he's not very fast" and all that. I think the guy is lightning, as he showed with the goals he scored. Look, I mean, I don't know, but all I'm saying is that each time I see him, he convinces me that he's more than capable of doing it at Chelsea.
Do you really think we will push to sign him? We've seen reports that saying that we're no longer interested in signing him. Some are saying that we'll most likely chances are we go back to him. But if we're going by what Mikel said, it seems as if at the moment we're not interested because Mikel said something to the effect of should we decide we are still interested, that is going to be easy, which means he's speaking as if he knows that, yeah, we're no longer interested. But should we decide still interested in signing him, that it's going to be easy, that's a giveaway that, yeah, that we're no longer interested because Mikel would know. That's my opinion. What do you make of that, Mikel's
Yeah.
comment?
Yeah, I think that's valid because he would know. He's in touch with Bali, he's in touch with Osimhen, so he would know. But I don't think the heat is on in any of these top strikers. There's not one of them that can turn around at this stage in the season and say there's a direct Chelsea contact. And as I said, often we don't appear to be interested in certain targets, and then suddenly we move in. Um, would that be the case for Victor? Possibly. We have had conversations with him before, and they fell through. But I would like to think that should an interest be reignited, we would have learned from those conversations and be more direct and be able to achieve what he wants and what we want. So, look, I don't know. All I'm just saying is that from what I've been seeing of him, I can't say it would be a bad shout. The only thing that's now not working too much in his favor is his age now. I think he's what, 27? Now, that's a very young man, but Chelsea's current standards, I think they would be happier if he was like 25 or 26.
I
But
do
it's not a
think.
showstopper.
Yeah, I did talk about this when the show started. I still do think he'll end up in Saudi Arabia. In my opinion, he never wanted to come to Chelsea. I think he was using us at the time to get more money, to get the Saudis to get, you could say, to get a lot of money from the Saudis, but it backfired spectacularly. Here's my theory. If he was really interested in joining us, why was he talking with the Saudi that even already he had an agreement in place with them? I think what was again, the only thing left at the time was the only biggest problem at the time was Napoli moved the goalpost. De Laurentiis, I started asking for more because probably he saw at the time that Osimhen was getting all he was asking of the Saudis, and he felt like if he moved the goalpost, they'd up their bid. But the Saudis realized what was going on, that both Osimhen and Napoli was trying to milk the life out of him and went for a much cheaper option, which is Ivan Toney. So I'd say Osimhen will eventually end up in Saudi Arabia. I'm shocked if that doesn't happen. I never believed for a second that he wanted to join Chelsea. He's Nigerian, especially from Benin, and I know people from that area how much they like money. Believe me, I don't believe it because, like, once again, the question I'll keep asking people: why was he even entertaining the Saudi offer? I think he did ask for an adjustment at the time, something that has to do with an exit strategy, maybe a release a clause that in case he wants to return to Europe, it'd be easy for him. I think that was the only thing at the time, and I don't know why people fail to see it from my perspective that he was never serious about joining Chelsea. But I see things the way I see it. People see things the way they see it, and we're entitled to see things differently. Bobby, if you don't have anything else, I think we should call it a day. We'll continue the conversation tomorrow. We had one participant who wanted to come into the panel and let us know why he thinks Chelsea should push for Osimhen, but I think his connection didn't allow that happen. Anything else, Bobby, before we call it a day?
No, that's a good way to conclude. I mean, I don't doubt what you've said. Perhaps Saudi is his destination. I don't know. But the clubs that were after him have got the players they want. So I don't know who else there would be looking for him. But, you know, come the summer, all will be made clearer.
Yeah, even though the club that were after him, they have another player in Ivan Toney. Remember how they sign players? It's a project for the entire league, for the entirety of for the entire Saudi league. So they are boosting, you could say, boosting the brand of the Saudi Pro League. So if they see a player, they will help one of the clubs that want the player get them. I don't know how that works, but they're working as a project together, not necessarily as individual clubs. So yeah, they could still come back for him. But despite the way, I want to say thank you for Bobby for finding the time to be with me on the panel. It's been an excellent conversation, and one that led to me discovering a new series where I'll find redonkulous transfer activities and talk about Chelsea fans' comments under that particular thing. I've seen something of similar structure on, I think, TikTok, and I think it will be fun. But that's by the way, thank you again, Bobby. I appreciate you as a brother, always finding the time to join. And I want to say thank you to Mabasta05 who was here. Keishon, my New York bro, I appreciate you finding the time. He said, how many strikers do you think we need? One. Just one, because Mark Gui is still there. We need just one more traditional leaning striker, stereotypical number 9. Victor is the best in the market right now. And we have Mabas05 in the chat. We have Wax in the chat. And Maduekwe promise. And if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And cheers.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We long for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone says to bed, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame inside high soul. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone says to bed, that bed was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue fading times like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone says to bed, that bed was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue fading times like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, through the dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone's just to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, through the dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone's just to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, through the dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone's just to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, vamos estiver, apenas estás. You, my heart. Keep the blue flame inside like soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's estiver, apenas estás. You, my heart. Keep the blue flame inside like the soul. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's estiver, apenas estás. You